My name is Robin. I'm the Deputy Director of Baltimore Homecoming. Thank you to all of you guys for joining us for the first Baltimore Conversations with Angel McCoughtry and Van Brooks. We saw this as an opportunity to get creative and do what we do best, which is connecting people. We get to join in conversation with two amazing Baltimoreans, Angel McCoughtry and Van Brooks. Angel is touted as one of the top WNBA players of all time. She is a two-time Olympic gold medalist and an entrepreneur who wears many, many hats, and of course, a proud Baltimorean. And she'll be talking with Van Brooks, founder and executive director of Safe Alternative for Education based in West Baltimore. Van's nonprofit focuses on helping students obtain an education and creating backup plans for life.
Thanks, Robin.
How are you doing, Van?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, hanging in there, just quarantining like everybody else, waiting for the world to open back up.
Yeah, for sure. Now, how is that going? How are you spending your time quarantining?
I just try to work out. I want to stay in shape, just in case the WNBA starts up at any moment. So I stay in shape, and then I try to stretch in the evenings. So nobody knows when we're opening up. The NBA doesn't know anything, so it's just everything is just so uncertain. So that's what makes it kind of tricky right now. You just have no certainty on anything.
Yeah. So I was on your Instagram, and I saw that you had the whole neighborhood out doing yoga. So
yes.
How's that going?
That was great. I just figured, we can't really do that kind of stuff right now. So I just asked our HOA, can we just start doing yoga? I live like in a small cul-de-sac. It's very intimate, and there's not a lot of houses. So everybody said, yeah, let's do it. So one of my friends who does yoga, she came and we just kind of social distanced ourselves and did some yoga, and they loved it. And they said, hey, let's do this every Thursday. So tomorrow we have another session. So it's really cool. It's really good. It just kind of relaxes our mind with everything going on out here right now,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Now, are you doing much with basketball? Are you getting your shots up?
I'm getting my shots up. Luckily, I have a court in the backyard, so I can kind of it's not a lot of space, but at least it's something I can do while everything's closed. I kind of drove around the city to see like what parks were open. None of the basketball courts are open, by the way. I heard in Baltimore, they took down the rims. In Baltimore, like New York, those areas. They didn't take down the rims here in Atlanta, but they just closed the gates. Like they put locks on the gates. But, up north, you got to take the rim down.
Yeah, because on nice
days, they'll jump the gate and play.
When you have those really nice days, you drive by any basketball court, and there's a lot of people out there hooping. So, yeah, they had no choice but to do that. So, tell me, what's one of the most challenging things right now? I know you're quarantined in, and you're trying to stay in touch with people, family, friends, but you're also trying to work out. You're in limbo when it comes to the season. So, out of all of the things, what's some of the most challenging?
I think just watching people suffer. The unemployment rates are up. Like you said, the uncertainty. Watching people like Carl Anthony Towns' mom just passed away due to corona, like stuff like that. Those are the things that are really hard. It's just tough to see that. I would have never expected anything like this to ever happen. That's just tough. At the end of the day, basketball is just a game. This is like real life, and I remember Oprah saying we will never go back to the same. We will have a new normal, as what you would say. So the world is changing. We have a new normal right now, so we're just adjusting that. But that's the hardest part, just watching people just really suffer and go through it.
Yeah, we're seeing that a lot. People are trying to get creative and trying to support businesses and their staff as much as possible, and the people. And the Karl Anthony Towns thing with his mom, that was definitely like heartbreaking when I saw that flash across ESPN. Yeah, very tough, very tough. But the next thing is, I believe through tragedy, through difficulties, there's always a flip side of that.
Absolutely.
Also, the bright side. So, do you see the bright side of this? And if so, what are some of those things that you're seeing? What did you think?
Absolutely. I think there's a blessing in every lesson. I think that, like you said, I do believe that the world is healing, like everybody's saying. The world is getting a little bit of a break from all the things that we do to it, pollutions and all those kind of things. I just think that the brighter side would be a different mentality. hopefully we'll come out of this learning and being more humble about things and knowing that, we really don't have anything to complain about. We complain about we're bored but we have these beautiful homes that even in other countries, people don't even have. I've been all over the world, and I remember reading something. It said if you have $15 to your name, you are richer than 80% of the world. Can you imagine that? Just $15. So that means a lot of people out here are struggling and really poor. So, I really don't like to use the word bored. I feel like there's always something to do because we have so much and we're so blessed. But yeah, I think the brighter side of things is we got to just come out with a different mentality, work hard at what we do, not take nothing for granted. Think how many jobs were lost. I'm ready to get back out in the court. Who knows when I'll be back out there, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to take nothing for granted when we come back and really just help each other.
Yeah, for sure. That's something I always say too. For me, my life was flipped upside down in a split second.
Right.
And all of those things that I was doing before, I wish I can go back and do those things again. And I probably would do it differently. I probably would do it with greater passion or urgency, because we don't know what life's going to bring us. In instances like this, it's we don't know what's going to happen. And when things get flipped upside down, we definitely need that mindset and have that positive perspective on things and looking at it and saying, we can get through this.
You know what, Van? That's a good point you made. I'm sure you tell the kids that all the time because, you got to let the kids know you can't, half do it. Put your all into it because you don't know when something can flip upside down. You don't know what can happen. Leave it all out there right now. Don't hold space. Don't hold energy back. Put it all out there. And I always use this Kobe example. Like, you think he thought he wasn't gonna come back to see his family that day? You know what I mean? So I'm glad you pointed that out. The kids need to know, do not take it for granted. Lay it all out on the line,
Yeah, there's the guy Inky Johnson. I listen to a lot of his motivational speeches, and one thing he always says is every day he empties the bucket, and so every day that you wake up,
I like that
opportunity for you to do something, and you need to empty your bucket that day because you never know when your time's going to be called.
Bucket. I like that. I like that. Man, that might be a t-shirt. Empty your bucket. That's pretty cool. I never heard that expression, but I definitely like that.
Yeah, it's something that stays in my mind with when I'm feeling down about something or when I don't want to give my all. Is empty your bucket. If you're not going to do it, then empty it.
Empty your bucket. That's good. Thank you for that.
So tell me, the Olympics.
Yes.
Two-time Olympian. How was that experience? And then can you talk also about with the Olympics being postponed? So,
the Olympics is probably one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. I wish that everybody could experience an Olympics, just to at least go, just to feel the feel. You're talking about every country in the world, every flag. It's amazing. About it being moved, I think it's a good decision. It's going to be next year, 2021, as long as there's an Olympics. That's how I feel. It's unfortunate, the situation, but the whole world knows, the whole world is in this together. And I think it was a good move moving it next year. That gives them more time to prepare, more time for things to get settled. Because these athletes work hard. You're talking about athletes who are giving so much, emptying their buckets every day to get there. And then if it would have been canceled, there would have been a lot of people devastated, just completely devastated. So I'm glad they just moved it.
Yeah, for sure. So you've achieved a lot. There's a lot of kids, right? Well, not right now, but if we weren't locked down, there are a lot of kids that will be on a basketball court, right? A lot of people who have dreams of being a professional athlete. I was one of them. I have a lot of friends who dream of it or dreamt of it. I have kids that I work with on a daily basis who dream of being a professional athlete. What would you say to them, right? What would you say to them about pursuing that dream?
I would say always pursue your dreams and pursue your passion. But what if you don't make it? Then what? Whenever there's a group of kids in the room, that's the first thing I say. All of you guys want to be NFL players, NBA players, WNBA. All of you in here are not going to make it. And that's just the honest truth. What are you going to do? And they're like, no, I'm making it. And I'm like, find some passions. It's okay to find another passion, you know what I mean, and get into something else. Always have your plan B, C, D. That's kind of what I tell the kids, because everybody doesn't go, even though they think they are. And I'm glad they do think they are, but, I just tell them to be prepared. If not, I said, what other passions? You love to play basketball, always, and that's not going to go anywhere. But what other passions can you get into? What else can you learn? What else, like you said, how can you empty your bucket to all your creativity? How much more creativity do you have? What else can you do? So I always try to stress that to the kids.
Yeah. Now, growing up, did you have a backup plan?
Did I have a backup plan? You know what? And that's what I told the kids too. It's okay not to know. Because when I went to college, I didn't know what I wanted to major in. They said the average college kid changes their major twice before they graduate. So I had no idea really what my backup plan was. But it kind of found me. And I think with a lot of kids, once they kind of explore, go explore it, it'll find them. So that's why I started majoring in communications. And I learned that like the broadcasting stuff, speaking and different things, media kind of things, I was more into that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about your journey? We know Baltimore, St. Francis, Louisville. Mm-hmm. So can you talk a little bit about your journey?
My journey wasn't easy, of course, and that's what I always tell the kids as well. Success is not tomorrow, guys. Why do you think, everything's so quick? It takes years. This is years of planning, building, struggling, sweat, blood, and tears. Like a lot of kids just think, or a lot of people actually, they just think I was this all-star player growing up, and I made the McDonald's All-American team, and I was a, All-American all through high school, and just signed with Louisville, and we were good. No, I wasn't a McDonald's All-American. I wasn't ranked in the top 10, top 20. You know what I mean? I struggled with my grades. I didn't pass my SAT score. I had to go to prep school and redo everything. It was a struggle. You know what I mean? And I remember I wanted to go to University of Maryland and play. That's the school that anybody from the area wants to go to. They turned me down. They say, hey, you can't shoot, So, they see, oh, she's drafted number 1 to Atlanta, but they didn't see all that struggle that went with that. And I went through all of those things. I actually signed with St. John's in New York, and I didn't pass my SAT score. I didn't get a high enough score, so I had to go to prep school, or I was going to go to JUCO, one of the two. And I had to just try to refocus, and I was down, things like that. So it was a lot. It was a lot. But I think what you do through all of the adversities, you stay focused. You keep grinding it out. You keep going after your passion. You know what I mean? That's what makes it so beautiful. That's what creates greatness, that no matter what happens in life, and this, you just keep going after it, right? I'm like, what made you, start your foundation for the kids? I'm sure, like you said, it was something you went through that flipped you upside down. And actually, I want to hear that kind of story, if you don't mind sharing that.
Yeah. So for me, it was, I woke up from a dream. When I had broke my neck, 16.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was going in for a routine tackle, high school football game. And I broke my neck in 2 places and was initially paralyzed from the neck down.
Oh my God.
When I say my life was flipped upside down, I went from, doing my thing on a football field, being a 3-sport athlete, to all of a sudden I can't move at all. And doctors saying that I would be like that for the rest of my life. And so for me, it was, how can I keep myself motivated? And it was difficult. It was very difficult, especially being that young. And I'll be honest, I wanted to give up on life, and I actually tried to give up on life, right? And my dad, and I say it all the time, my dad saved my life from the conversations that he would have with me. And he, that motivated me to move forward, right? And so getting back to going back to school on time or graduating on time, should I say, with my class,
right?
That athlete in me, right? Of when someone tell me I can't do something, I just have to prove them wrong, right? I have to be like, I'm gonna show you. And one thing led to another, one step after another, and I was starting to accomplish a lot of the things that people said I wasn't going to be able to. And eventually, I taught myself to walk again after 8 years of
Wait,
my
you weren't walking for about 8 years.
8 years. Well, I'm still in my wheelchair. So this year will be 16 years, which sounds crazy because half my life being in the chair.
Yeah.
But it took me 8 years before I was able to take some steps on my own.
Wow. How did you feel when you took those steps again?
Oh man, I cried like a baby.
Wow.
I cried because everything that I have been working for, and all the things that people were saying that I was never going to be able to accomplish, I was able to do it. And I had a lot of down moments, dark days,
Absolutely.
depressed and all of that. And making it through that and being able to take those steps was incredible, right? Incredible. But even though I accomplished that, I knew that the journey wasn't over, and I knew that there was still a lot more work that needed to be done. But when we talk about the foundation, literally the foundation came to me in a dream after taking a couple of days after taking steps.
No way.
It came to me in a dream, and I felt as though that's what my purpose was. That was the reason behind why I went through everything I went through.
Wow.
Greater than me.
Wow. That is tremendous. That is amazing. And that's why I kind of go back to what you're saying about the bright side coming out of this situation with the COVID. What is going to come out of this situation with everybody being down? Are you going to give up, or are you going to find a way? Yeah. You know what I mean? You could have easily given up. You could have easily said, you know what, I'm done. I can't walk. Forget all this. But you just kept striving and striving. Those steps that you didn't give up on created a bigger thing for millions of other people. That's wow. I have chills just that is amazing.
And I try to tell people that. I tell people all the time, I call it the ripple effect.
Yeah.
You can have the ripple effect. You can start that ripple, and then once it gets started, eventually it can turn into a wave.
Right.
No telling what can be accomplished then.
So I had to check the Q&A box after you just told the story. So you actually got a couple questions.
Okay.
I got more questions too, but we can check it out.
So I actually like this one here. How you guys keeping your mental health in check?
From Lacey Evans, yes.
Yes. So you want to take that one first?
I'll let you do it. You're on a roll right now.
Okay. So how do I see, did it pop up here? I didn't see it pop up when you click. Let's see.
Let's see.
All right. Well, I have it here. So everyone, if you don't see the question in the chat box, the question is, how are you guys keeping your mental health in check? So for me, it's taking some downtime. That's one of the things that I've been able to do during this COVID situation. I've been able to sleep in, which I barely ever sleep, but also just taking some downtime to myself and having conversations with friends, and going to church or looking at church virtually, and just kind of tapping in that way, taking time off for myself.
I would say how I cope with the mental health thing. Like you said, staying busy, staying active. Actually trying to find new ways to be creative. I meditate a lot. That really helps. Just meditating and trying to keep that positive mind frame, because it is easy for people to be like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. When is everything gonna open up? When can I go back to normal? But like you said, I think try not to focus so much on those things and the good things that come out, like you said, being able to be home with your family. I mean, how often do we get to just enjoy home, y'all? We're always busy working. Enjoy your kids. Yeah, your spouse might be getting on your nerve, but it's okay. Enjoy that downtime, because once everything pops back up, busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are some ways.
It's funny because I know the person who asked this question.
Yeah.
He just challenged me yesterday they said I haven't been taking care of myself enough, and they just challenged me to find something outside of work that I could get involved in. So it's funny that this is there.
That's interesting. Okay. Let's check out another one. Somebody said when you came to Baltimore homecoming in October, you had come right off the plane from a trip to Africa, I believe. Yes, that was true. What were you doing in Africa, by the way? One of the highlights of homecoming for me was seeing your gold medal Olympics. I was doing a lot in Africa. They don't have a lot of, on the women's side, a lot of support in sports, especially with basketball. So I went over there. I asked Adidas to kind of fund me a little bit to help me out. And they helped me to basically form a basketball camp. I was in Ghana. And it was the first all-female can you believe, like, it was the first all-female basketball camp? Like, it's 2019. That doesn't even sound right. But the girls were so excited. They didn't even believe I was coming. That's how, like, far tuned that nothing like that happens for them. So just went there to teach them some skills and to let them know that there is more. Sports can open up a lot of doors for them. A lot of women drop out because they don't think there's anything left after the fact. And I have to let them know, hey, the NBA is hiring more women than they ever have before, commentating jobs, coaching jobs. You can play overseas in Europe. So once I told them that, they were kind of like, really? Yeah. So, I want to be able to go to more countries. I just went to South Africa a couple months ago and did the same thing. And they were excited too. So I do definitely want to do more of that. So I just came off the plane and went straight to homecoming. It was weird, I know. But hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go. Here's one. What inspired you to do what you do to this day?
What inspired me to do what I do to this day? Like I said, the passion. I feel like if you don't have a passion for anything you do in this world, you can forget it. You have to have a passion. I don't care if it's drawing, horseback riding. There has to be a passion there. That's what keeps me going. If I don't have a passion to play, I don't need to be out there in that court.
Yeah.
You can see the difference. Like, you can see the difference of people who have the passion and who don't. You can see it in any sport. If somebody's just out there for the paycheck, you can tell. And I never want to be that person that's just out there just playing, not for the love of it. I've been playing on that basketball court since I was 8, and I love it.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that God blessed me to be able to make a job out of it, so. And I got to hear from you, Van, too.
For me, it's a purpose. It's a purpose. I feel it's my purpose on my life. And it's the answer to my question of why me. And so if I was, I was blessed to be put in a position to help, and I believe that you definitely should help if you can. I'm a big believer in paying it forward, and going through my injury. So many people that I knew and didn't know stepped up to help me and my family, and so I have to pay that forward. And it's just a purpose for me.
Now, Ben, I actually have a question. Did you, after the injury, do you feel like you lost friends?
I did.
So weird to me, like, you broke your neck in 2 places and you're losing friends. How, like, explain that? Yeah. So
for me, I kind of looked at it as they were there for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Being that 3-sport athlete, and you're the one that's going to make it, and you're going to make it out, and everyone's going to go with you. And then when that was like, nope, not happening, it was just like people just started dropping off.
That's crazy.
It's wild. Yeah.
That's
Some
crazy.
people that were closest to me dropped off. Now, I still have my core,
right,
who stood by me and are still by me. But yeah, that was a very devastating.
That's something, how just people there for the wrong reason, not even like your true friend. Those are the times that your friend should show you, I'm here for you no matter what. You're going to make it through this.
Yeah. But you know what? A lot of other people stepped up, though. A lot of other people stepped up, and they stepped up in ways I would have never imagined. People that, we didn't have the best relationship, but now today we do.
That's interesting.
It's wild how that worked out.
Yeah. I actually want to answer this question by Laura Brusca. Hope I pronounced your name right. It says, what advice can you offer to someone trying to defend their dream, passion, and put it into achievable goals? Van?
One more time. What is, trying to find it on the chat.
Yeah. What advice can you offer to someone trying to defend their dream or passion and put it into achievable goals?
What advice?
Okay. Yeah, somebody who's trying to defend their passion to achieve their goals.
Okay.
So
So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
for the first part of it, what I offer to someone trying to define their dream and passion and put
Oh,
in.
it's define. I thought I said defend. Okay, define. Yes, sorry.
Because I was about, it's why I was
That's my
about
bad.
to answer that. It's with defending, right? Okay,
Yeah.
define their goal, their dream and passion.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to something you said, what makes you happy? What are you passionate about? Right? I look at it as, what would you do for the rest of your life for free? Right? If you will wake up and go at it with all your
Good.
energy for free, if that's something that you would do for the rest of your life, then I believe that that's something that you should be working towards. And as you say, you've been playing ball since you were 8, and just so happened that you made a living out of it, right?
Right. Right.
I believe the same is with me. A lot of the work that I do, I put countless hours into this, and I could be, doing other things, but I wouldn't be happy doing those other things. This
Right.
is what I enjoy doing, and I have done it for free for years.
Right.
And if there comes a time where I have to continue to do it for free, I will. And so I'll say, if it's something you're willing to do for free, then that's it.
And I think, to add to what you're saying, Vaughn, I don't think you even have to define it. I think it'll take that pressure off yourself. I think it'll define itself for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it came to you. The dream came to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to waste your time trying to define it. You work hard at it, it'll define itself. You got a question. This is a good question at the end, Van, from Tatiana.
Okay, so what sports or athletics have I participated in post-injury? Yes, so I have, I've done a lot. So I've tried my hand in wheelchair rugby,
Nice.
which was wow. So wheelchair rugby, I just recently did some indoor rock climbing.
What?
Nice. That was a workout. Talk about a workout.
Right.
I went jet skiing, water tubing. I've done scuba diving. I think that's about it.
Is there something you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Skydiving.
Oof.
Yes.
You can start that one, Van. I don't know if I can.
That's definitely on my list. I've done
man.
Skydiving.
Oh my God. I ain't ready for that one yet. Oh my. So you would do that today if you could?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sign me up.
Oh my God. Okay, you can have that one. Yeah, I'm not ready for that. I cannot. How do you overcome y'all challenges through you guys' lifetime? Treasure Irvin. Well, like we said before, like just through hard work, not giving up, and having the people around you to help you. Like you shouldn't have to do it by yourself. I believe. I feel like you should have the core people. Like Van, what did you say? Your dad really helped you through that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think if he wasn't there, you may not be as far as you probably overcome.
Yes.
So for me, like the people in my life have really helped me get through a lot. And that's another point is on the road to success, you're going to go through a lot. You've got to have the right team around you. There's going to be people that's going to try to pull. You're going to have the wrong people try to come in because those people can smell success a mile away, the bad people. Oh, they just smell it. They just know it's there. They know it's coming. They try to come in and break it all up and see what they can take. You got to get rid of those people. You have to recognize those kind of people. And a great example is LeBron James. He has just a great team of people around him. The guys that are with him, he knew since elementary school. All those guys are multimillionaires. They're doing their own thing through the help of LeBron and them helping LeBron, first off. Like Rich Kleiman is Clutch Sports. You got Maverick, who's created everything. So, like, it's a difference when you have a team and people who are willing to be behind you to say, hey, I'll help push you to success because I know I'll get blessed from it. See, a lot of people don't know. You have so much jealousy out here. A lot of people don't realize your blessing will bless me. But the jealousy comes in and then they wind up missing out on a blessing because they don't want to be behind or this, that. It's okay. That's what I've learned.
You say that again, your blessing will bless me. I like that.
Yeah. So it's no point. There's no reason for jealousy out here, folks. And that's why I always say, especially for women, because we're so catty and we want to compete so much. I always tell the women, there's no competition in life, only destination. Stop competing.
Yeah.
You can help another woman get to where you are. That's not going to take away from you.
Mm-hmm.
We're all trying to be destined to be something great, you know? And that's why I've heard a lot of women say they've had more male figures help them to get to where they're at than women. Us women need to be helping women. You know, even in the, I challenge women to come to our games too, because even in the NFL, the number one fan base is women. So, we're trying to get more fans to come to WNBA games. I'm like, if we just have more women support women, if women will go to an NFL game, we can definitely get them to come support women, support each other, and come watch us play in the WNBA, bring their kids and all that. But we have sometimes more men that come to WNBA games, more male fans. So
who are some of the pioneers that pioneer not really the right word. Some of the men, I know Kobe started to get really big WNBA. Who are some of the other the male athletes, former or current, that you think are kind of helping move that needle forward?
I like Serena. I think she's done a lot to really help, move the needle forward. She speaks out about a lot of truths. I like athletes who are kind of not scared to speak on what's right, even though they know they'll be hated or maybe talked about. I like Serena. I like LeBron. I feel like he does a lot for all communities, with the schools and different things. And he helps a lot of people. Magic is great. I really like Magic, what he's done in a lot of communities. There's been some great ones. Who else has done a lot? Go ahead.
So this wasn't it. So this, all right. So this isn't necessarily about the WNBA, right? But about a cause. What would you say to someone who says, "Well, I don't have," or they don't feel as though they don't have the means to help move the needle on a cause? What would you say about that?
So meaning, like, if you don't to help move the needle on a cause, meaning like they don't have the resources or funds to help.
Right.
That kind of what you mean?
If they feel they don't have the resources or the funds.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when people think of supporting a cause, it's usually monetarily.
Right. I think for people who feel like that, I think find another cause that you can help out or learn from or get a mentor. I think that there's always a way to help in any kind of way. There's so many causes out here to be a part of. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club. They're in every state, even if you don't think that you can help move the needle forward. Any little bit helps. Sometimes it's not always about being seen. You know what I mean? A lot of people do a lot of great things that nobody know about. And people think that it has to be so big and extravagant and it has to be recorded for everybody to see that I'm moving the needle forward. No, you're moving the needle forward by getting up every day and maybe just calling somebody and giving them a compliment. Maybe they were down. That compliment boosted their life. Or you went out and you gave, a homeless person some food. That's moving the needle forward as much as we can. We want as much positivity in the world as we can. Every little inch counts because we hear so much bad stuff. So those little things are counted as moving the needle forward.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we talked about the question about how do we deal with the tough times, and I'm paraphrasing that. I know you also went through an injury.
Yes.
Can you talk about that, and can you talk about where were you mentally dealing with that and recovering from that, and now that you're back from that, what do you know?
Yeah, so I was out for a year. I had torn my ACL, and it was right during the time we were entering the playoffs. We were playing so well. We were one of the teams predicted to win the championship. And it's like, boom, I get hurt right before the playoffs. I've never been hurt in my career ever. I didn't know what to expect. I did have a lot of mental moments where I was just like, what the heck? Like, it was tough. And a lot of nights I felt alone. Like you said, when you're on top scoring 30 points a night, everybody's there calling on you in your face. And when I got hurt, the phone call stopped. I didn't have as many people checking on me. And that was okay. That's okay. And I just got to see the other side. And I know you can relate to that. And I had never been to the other side, which is the side that people just aren't checking for you like that because you're not out there scoring that many points, or you're not out there being the superstar that you were used to being, right? So I had to learn through that process because I felt like I was losing my identity. I didn't know who I was anymore. I lost my confidence. I learned that basketball is not my identity. That's what I learned, because basketball was my everything. I thought basketball was who I was. And I learned in that process, basketball doesn't make you who you are. You never lost your identity. You were always Angel. Basketball was just a bonus. You know what I mean? It was just, you were just talented at that sport. So I really learned that the people who are there during my downtime are the people that just appreciate who you are. It's not about basketball. It's not about, if you're scoring 30 points. And that's what I truly learned. And I truly appreciate it through the injury. And I can respect that now, that whether I don't play another game again, I'm okay. I know who I am. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a good point that you pointed out, that basketball isn't your identity.
Right.
And I think a lot of times so many people get caught up in whatever the job is that they have, or whatever their career is, that's who they are. And that's not their identity. So I think that's a really good point, a really good message for everyone to hear.
Yeah, because if it's ever taken away, then you're losing your mind because you thought that's who you are, and it's not. You got to know who you are outside of the game when you walk off that court.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you have? I know you're going to a new team.
Yeah.
You excited for that, of course?
I'm excited. I'm going to Vegas, y'all. So I'm excited. Vegas, that's a new franchise. The city, they've really adapted well to having professional sports teams. The team gets a lot of love in the city. They get a lot of support. Now they have the Raiders coming there. They have a football team. So Vegas is like the new city coming up for sports. So I'm excited to go there. Top of the line franchise. I'm excited. I can't wait to play. I'm playing with some great players. Asia Wilson, Liz Cambage, Kelsey Plum. I mean, it's just so many great players.
Yeah.
So I think we have a great chance to really go far and win the championship.
No, I definitely will be watching and following along when it's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about. I'm very big on backup plans, as we talked about previously. What's your backup plan for life after the NBA? How are you gonna, what are you working on, and how are you gonna use the tool? I like to call our careers tools, right? How are you gonna use the tool of the WNBA to live your second life outside of it?
Yeah. So going back to saying that, like, basketball is not your identity, but you can use it, like I said, as a tool. I've used basketball as a tool to be able to go overseas and see the world, to be able to play in the Olympics, to be able to, financially be okay. So I just think that after basketball, using that tool, I want to get into commentating. I feel like I can talk about the game. I know the game, so that'll be fun. I feel like I always want to say we need a woman Dick Vitale. Women's games. Sometimes we're kind of like just talking. We need somebody with that excitement like him. He makes those games so exciting. So I would like to consider myself the woman Dick Vitale in basketball. So I want to get to that afterwards. I started writing scripts, getting to the acting and movie stuff, because I had a TV show that came to me in a dream, and the dream was, usually sometimes you forget your dreams.
Yeah.
When it's a dream from above, you don't forget nothing.
Not at all.
So I said, you know what? Let me write this dream down. So and the script came out of it. So I've been doing some stuff with that foundation stuff, like you have, and we'll definitely try to get into those things afterwards more fluently.
Okay. So I heard you're into music.
A little bit, a little bit.
So any types of like partnerships that you have
Mm,
you're looking forward to building out?
yeah. So of course I have my partnership with Adidas and they help me with a lot of stuff like they did with the camp in Ghana. I have a partnership with Lasso Socks. So Lasso socks are like a compression sock that kind of help you prevent ankle injuries, 40% more than a regular sock. So honestly, if you go in there now and buy a pair of socks, they're going to donate socks to the hospitals and stuff for patients. So that's really cool.
Awesome.
Um, any other partnerships I'm thinking? That's the main two right now that I have. Yeah.
So I'm gonna dive back into the question and answers box down here.
Oh, yep, yep. Actually, this one's for you, but I like the question. Van, how are you in safe addressing any challenges you're seeing with distance learning during this time?
Yes. So what we're doing, we are doing everything virtually. We are connecting with all of our students and their families. We're making sure that they have internet access or know where the closest hotspots are and seeing if we can access those. If they don't have computers, we're taking them computers so that way they can use them, or they can get on their phones. And then we're just checking in with them once a week. So today, it's we're launching our Together We Can campaign, which is we're going to be offering virtual programming to any and everyone, where they can log in via Zoom and participate in the different types of programming that we're going to be offering. There's currently a survey out right now, so if you visit our website at safealternative.org, you can fill out a survey and let us know what types of programs you would like to participate in. I mean, they're going to range from working out, Spanish classes, sign language classes, arts and crafts. And again, that's open to any and everyone. And so that's just our way of staying in contact with our students, but also other students who may not have access to programming. They can log in and get some of that programming that we're going to be offering through our Together We Can campaign.
Nice, nice. So I actually found another question. So let me apologize for that, y'all. I don't know how to disconnect the phone to the computer. It just rings when the phone rings. So I just turned my phone off. But I like this question right here. Angel, what leadership lessons have you gained from your coaches? And how do your coaches help you grow as a player and a person? So one of the main things I learned, I used to always get mad at my teammates. And I would kind of yell at them on the court, think they weren't working hard and doing this and doing that. And I remember Coach Walls from the University of Louisville, he sat me down and he said, do you know why you get so mad at your teammates? And I was like, no, coach, they're not working hard. He said, no, that's not it. He said, because you think they can do what you can do. And they can't. And then I was like, no, they can. He's like, they can't. So I went to practice the next day and I really watched. And I was like, wow, you know what? I do jump higher than her. I can't get mad if she doesn't get the rebound or maybe, you know what I mean? So once I learned that every single girl had a special thing that they did right. And it may not have been the thing that I've done right. Maybe I can jump out the gym, but she can't. But she can shoot a 3 with her lights out. You know what I mean? So once I learned that, I was able to say, okay, now I know how to lead because everybody's different. So that's when I learned as a leader, I can yell at her because that gets her going. But this one, you can't yell at her because she'll shut down.
Yeah.
And then once I learned that, we went to the Final Four with an average team that nobody thought would have went to a Final Four with no high school All-Americans. We were an average team in the finals. So I've really learned some life lessons from Coach Walls. Another thing he taught me was, if it was easy, then everybody would do it. That's what makes your passion great. That's what makes you unique. Everybody can't play basketball. Everybody will be in the WNBA, right? Everybody would just do it, just play. So it's a special gift. Everybody can't do what you do, Van. So that's what makes it special, and that's why you perfect it. And like you said, don't take it for granted.
No, that's a great lesson in leadership right there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, everyone can't do what you can. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's something I had to learn the hard way. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own gifts and talents, and so as you said, you can't put yours on them.
Right.
So that's excellent.
Right. All right, this one's for you, Van. What is Van doing to keep his students engaged, and how challenging is it with lack of access to technology? Does this present a new opportunity to connect with students in a different way, and how? That's a good question.
So what are we doing to keep our students engaged? We are, again, the virtual programming, as I said, calling, checking in on them. We just had a pizza party last week, which was cool. I had pizza delivered to everyone's houses, and then we jumped on Zoom for those who could participate in Zoom and watch the movie together. So that's another way that we're doing it. But the technology piece is definitely a gap. It's not an issue necessarily for our students per se. I mean, we do have a couple who can't get on, but we're still able to really engage with them via the phone. But for other students, because we work very closely with our partners and trying to help some of the students who aren't a part of our program. Sorry about that, car. Who aren't a part of our program. How can we help them gain access to technology, whether it's through a cell phone or it's through a laptop? And so it's definitely a problem and a gap that's going to be, opening even wider due to the lack of technology.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. So we have another question for both of us. What's one thing as business owners and entrepreneurs that you know now that you wish you knew 10 years ago about business? First of all, we ain't that old. Okay, 10 years ago, man, I probably was still in college. Okay. But I would say one thing I learned in business is it's not easy, of course. The main thing is to make sure that your employees feel appreciated, because then they'll give you a good service. And then when they give a good service out, then you have more people who will come to your business. And then another thing is, remember we talked about having a good team around you. A lot of businesses fail because people steal the money. Okay, so that ties into having a good core people you trust in creating a successful business. And of course, location, that's big. But Van, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, I say the need, understanding what need you're fulfilling. And then also the team piece is huge. Making sure that you have the team, going back to the lesson that your coach taught you, making sure that you know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And as the leader, making sure that you're filling your team out with those who can make you better in the areas that you lack. So I think those two would be my biggest, the team for sure, and then making sure that you're filling a need. And then passion is another thing that goes behind it. Passion and just having that clear vision, being able to communicate exactly what it is and how you're going to be moving forward.
That's really good. That's really good. All right, what we got?
We have time for a couple more, Angel.
All right, let's hit them. This one's from Matt. My daughter, Josephine, wants to hear about your leadership styles, not only relating to sport. Thank you.
Great. I can start with, so my leadership style, I like to think I'm very laid back, right? I'm direct. And one of the books that I read that helped me out a lot, that two books. One is Servant Leadership. I truly believe that my job is to make sure that my team is successful, because if my team is successful, then I'm successful. And so what is it that my team needs, or how can I put them in a position to be successful? And as a result, again, I'll be successful that way. But then also, so that was the Servant Leadership, was that book. The other one was the 1 Minute Manager. And that was simply address, if there's an issue that needs to be addressed, address it directly, immediately. But you also need to understand, do you address that publicly or do you address that privately? And then the same with success. If there's something that's really, that you like, address that immediately as well. And do you address that publicly or do you address that privately? And so those two things help me a lot.
Yeah, I think my leadership style is very, like you said, direct. You have to be direct, black and white. can't beat around the bush when you're trying to lead, because people need to know which direction to go. Like you said, it is about knowing what you're putting out and then what's behind closed doors. You have to know the difference. That's for sure, because you don't want people embarrassed, and then they won't respect your leadership skills anymore as much. So I agree with you. I'm kind of on that. But another thing, though, I'm bringing up something kind of like off subject, but pertaining to leadership. All the kids now, they get a trophy. I'm a big believer in the team that won gets the trophy. For everybody to get a trophy, and the last place team getting a trophy as well, I don't think that teaches the kids great leadership skills. It just shows them like, oh, okay, we don't have to work as hard because we get a trophy too. And that's what changed from back then to now. Don't hate me, but I'm just old school with it. Like, you grind it out, you work hard, here's your trophy. And that makes the other kids work hard and become leaders because they want that same thing. They want to get what that team got because they worked hard. Everybody in the trophy is just a lack of something. It's a lack of just, I don't know, maybe just hard work. I'm just not a believer in it.
Yeah. So I think this is the last question we have. And so tell me, what's a motivational or a quote, something that motivates you, something that will help you get through tough times?
A motivational quote that helps me get through. There's so many that I like. What's my favorite one? I'm stuck on that one because I'm trying to think of that one that really resonates. I actually have a scripture I like. It's in Corinthians, and it says, "Do not become weary in doing good. In due time, you will reap your harvest." You know, sometimes you feel like you're doing everything right. You're working hard, and you're like, "Why is nothing happening? Where's my blessing? I'm not doing anything wrong. I do everything right. I'm a good person." And it's like, don't get weary in doing the right things. Your harvest will come in due time. Like, that's one of my, it's not a quote, but it's a scripture. I like that one.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. I'll say mine, and this was the one that really saved my life. My dad told it to me in the hospital. And he said, a man isn't defeated when he loses, he's defeated when he gives up.
Wait, say that one more time.
A man isn't defeated when he loses, he's defeated when he gives up.
That's good.
And so
you're not defeated when you lose, y'all. And everybody thinks that. You're not defeated when you lose. When you give up, have you guys ever seen that meme? And it shows like somebody trying to climb, like it's the guy's digging to try to get gold, and then he gives up on the meme, and then the gold is right behind that last dig, but he gave up. So I know you guys seen like memes like that before, but that's just a great example of what you just said. You don't give up.
Yeah, can't.
Ever, y'all. Thank you, man. I appreciate everything.
Thank you.
We'll stay in touch.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.